Hey there, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name's James, and I thought it would be fun if we would throw a prompt into ChatGPT as if we were just starting our retirement planning. So the prompt I asked was, what would be the five things or five questions a retirement planner would ask us if we were brand new and it was our first appointment? So the top five things a retirement advisor will probably focus, anyway, focus on during your first appointment. And this is from ChatGPT. Remember, I am not a financial planner. I am not an expert. I am just a guy that's trying to get him and his wife to our exit strategy to get retired by the time we're 62. So here are the top five things. The first question that ChatGPT said that a financial planner would probably ask is, what does your ideal retirement look like? That's the basically your age, where you plan to live, do you plan to travel, your lifestyle expectations. Are you a big spender or are you a miser, kind of like us? Do you have any major purchases you want to make? And do you continue to work full time, part time, or just bury the sport coat in shoes and never work again? So that's the very first one. What does your ideal retirement look like? That's pretty standard. I mean, that's probably what I would expect them to ask. The second one is, how much do you currently owe, and how much do you currently own? So they want a picture of your 401ks, IRAs, Roth accounts. Do you have any brokerage accounts, any stocks, bonds? Cash, real estate. Is your house paid off? Is it, how much do you owe on it? Do you own a business? Do you have a pension? Or do you have any credit card debt? So, how much do you currently own or owe would probably be the second question that a retirement planner would want to ask you. The next one would be, how much income will you need in retirement? And that's for me the key. That is something that we came to before we did any of this, and that's I've done a video before called "What's Your Number." Uh, it's not the number you're thinking. It's what's the number you're going to need. What's the amount you're going to need every month in order to live the lifestyle that you want to live. So your current monthly spending. What are your expected retirement expenses? Healthcare costs. That's a big one. People forget about that. A lot of people have their healthcare included in their as a benefit for their employee or employers. So that when you're not employed anymore, that becomes a real cost until you hit 65. And after 65, it actually still a real cost because from what I understand, Medicare, they still charge you some fees for it, depending on how much money you have for retirement. So do you have taxes that you owe, insurance? Do you want to travel? Um, Charitable giving, that's pretty important for your church or for any charities that you're involved with. And do you financially support any of your other family members? Your, your grown kids, hopefully your grown kids don't need support. Mine doesn't. He's doing fantastic. So, but there's some folks that have special needs kids and they have to provide for them, or they have a brother, sister, mother, father that it can't take care of themselves anymore and they help out. So that's something that the retirement planner is going to need to know. What are your future income sources going to be? Social Security is probably going to be the main one for a lot of people, or a pension. Pensions, it turns out, I didn't know this, but pensions are a dying breed. There's not a lot of jobs that have pensions anymore. But Social Security and pensions. Do you have rental income? Are you going to sell a business? Like, that's what we're going to do. That's going to really help us bridge the gap between 62 and 65 is the sale of our company. Um, do you have part-time income? Maybe you have a YouTube channel and you make some money. We're not monetized yet, so we don't make any money. We're just doing this kind of to help folks because we wish somebody would have helped us know about these things. Do you have annuities? I'm not a big fan of annuities, but again, not an expert, so I'm sure I don't understand them fully. And from what I do understand, I think you could probably make more money with ETFs and stock purchases like that through the S&P 500. But again, you need to get a retirement professional to help you with retirement, and then an investment professional to help you with your money. This is not what we do. Also, do you have any other reoccurring income? A settlement? Um, oh, maybe you get a stipend from rent from a family piece of property, things like that. Um, and then the last thing that they might ask you, the top five, are what are your biggest risks and concerns? Obviously, most people it's going to be whether Social Security is going to be there when they're ready to go. I'm sure it is, probably not in the way that it is today, but I'm sure it's going to be there. Uh, but who knows what it's going to look like. The second thing, stock market, big risk. Some years, if you start your retirement and you have a stable market, you're probably going to retire pretty well. But if, in the first year or two of your retirement, there's a big hit uh, to the stock market, that's going to deplete your savings quicker, and you're going to have less money to grow later on. So, market losses are important. Are you going to live longer than expected? I don't know what the average retirement age is, but the men in my family live into their late 90s, so we really got to plan for some long-term funds there. Inflation, that's a concern. Long-term care costs, you don't want to be a burden on your family. So when you get old and can't take care of yourself, you're going to have money set aside so you can take care of yourself. Um, Again, taxes, everywhere you go, taxes are important. Losing a spouse, that's another risk and concern. There are some things you can do with Social Security, so you can maximize your payout and your wife's or husband's payout if you're the main breadwinner. And if you lose your spouse, you can actually, if they make more money than you in Social Security, you might be able to get their amount of Social Security. So you want to look into that. Um, do you want to leave money for your children? Thank goodness our son is doing really, really well. He probably won't need us to leave him any money, but at some point we'd like to leave him some, if see if that's important to you. And some people want to leave money to charity, whether that's the church or a school that they attended, something like that. So those are the top five things that ChatGPT put out there. I would tell you, just from experience, when you go for the first time and you meet with your financial planner, your retirement folks, you want to bring any account statements you have, your checking account, your savings account, your stocks, your pension, any of that. Bring those most recent statements. I'd also bring, if you have a yearly statement, I would bring that as well. Your Social Security estimates, we did a video on how to look at that. It's ssa.gov. You go there, log in, and you start create an account if you don't have one, and it'll show you what you'll earn current, as if the Social Security Administration hasn't changed anything by then. What you'll earn when you retire. Um, a monthly spending estimate. Find your number, bring that with you. Any tax returns, and any other documentation of assets that you may have. So I think that's a pretty good list. It's probably not the optimal list because it's ChatGPT, and obviously it's limited on its knowledge, but it's a pretty darn good list to start with. So I would look at this. I would bring these things with you. You might want to do your own search. ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Grok. They're all really good of giving you. Excuse me. They're really good at giving you uh, a general overview of the things that you ask it. I'm not sure that it's at the expert level in all subjects, and this is your retirement. So I would I would make sure that I don't take this as gospel. I would 100% use it as a guideline, but I would hire somebody to look at my financials. If you can't, then do a lot of research yourself. That's what we did in the beginning, and we were pretty pleased when our financial advisor said, "Hey, you did pretty good." I said, "Well, a lot of late nights and a lot of sweat because we wanted to make sure we did this right." Anyway, if you like this or you found any of this information helpful, please like and subscribe. And we look forward to seeing you. Leave in the comments if you started your exit strategy, if you started your retirement planning, and how it's going. We'd love to know. We'd love to get a community going where, we're, again, I say this all the time, we're not experts, but you know, we'd love to see what other people are doing, because if what you're doing might help us, we'd love to piggyback some of that stuff too. So anyway, thanks a lot, and appreciate you. Thanks.